Hello fellow gamers, I'm Christopher Chrisman of Retro Game Network, and coming up next, a look at last week's retro video game news on the RGN Files for the week ending Saturday, September 7, 2019. In the RGN Files this week, a game based on the Viewist universe called Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch was successfully crowdfunded on Kickstarter a few years ago. Backers of the campaign also got a retro-style bonus game called Jay and Silent Bob Mall Brawl, which is now coming to physical NES cartridges. Being created by Limited Run Games, this bonus title was made available for purchase this past Friday. Mall Brawl is a two-player co-op action brawler that incorporates 8-bit stylized graphics and effects similar to games such as Double Dragon 2 and River City Ransom. The game was made available in a variety of editions, such as the Standard Edition, which is still available for pre-order, which includes the game cartridge itself and your choice of 3 different shell colors: Silent Bob Green, Jay Yellow, or NES Gray. Included in the shrink wrap package is the cartridge itself, alongside of a manual, dust sleeve, and a styrofoam block. In addition, a premium version was also available, which included an individually numbered gatefold-style box, art cards, and the game's soundtrack on audio CD, alongside of a reversible poster. All versions of the game are exclusively available only for the NTSC video format. The premium edition of the game was sold out between the time of its original offering and the recording of this podcast. Those wanting to, however, pick up the Standard Edition can still place their order before October 4th, which is when the pre-order period ends. The cost of the single cartridge variant costs just under $55, while a package containing all 3 color variants costs just under $150. All of the games are scheduled to ship out sometime this upcoming December. In other news from Limited Run Games, the company has also announced a release date and pricing details for their upcoming collector's edition of Shenmue 3. A work in progress since 2013, Shenmue 3 will finalize the trilogy that started with the original game that was first released for the Sega Dreamcast back in 1999. The game was originally crowdfunded, in which over $7 million had been earned. Those that didn't support this crowdfunding that still want to obtain a copy will have plenty of options available. In regards to the collector's edition, this PlayStation 4 version of the game will include the title on physical media, alongside of a premium foil stamped box and a premium individually numbered high-gloss foil embossed slipcover. You also get a replica Phoenix and Dragon mirror, plus a shoji-style lightbox and desk lamp. You also get a set of stickers, iron-on patches, as well as a commemorative Sega Dreamcast CD jewel case, which has been stylized after the original game's box. This jewel case is reversible, made to look well for both North American and Japanese editions of the game. Orders for this edition, which will sell for just under $100, will be limited to 5,000 copies, with pre-orders starting on the 20th anniversary of the Dreamcast release in the United States, September 9th at 12 noon Eastern Time. Those that want to buy a standard physical edition will be able to do so at a general video game store in both brick and mortar as well as online retailers. The standard edition will be sold for both the PlayStation 4 and PC and will sell for just under $60. However, no matter which version you select, the game will be released or shipped out on November 19th of this year. Nintendo has officially stepped out of the NES library, at least in regards to their Nintendo Switch Online service. This past Thursday, the Big N added the very first wave of Super NES game titles for the service, which turns 1 year old this month. While the now-defunct Virtual Console offered NES and Super NES games, they also offer games for other systems, such as the Genesis, Nintendo 64, TurboGrafx-16, Commodore 64, among others. Some gamers in the past year have expressed their dissatisfaction with the lack of other libraries being offered for Switch Online when compared to the original Virtual Console. Subscribers to the service will now have access to 20 Super Nintendo games to go along with the nearly 50 NES games that have been offered since the product launched 1 year ago. Along the games offered with this first wave include Super Mario World, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, Super Mario Kart, and Star Fox. As of right now, it doesn't matter which region you're in, as all 20 games are available in all areas of the world that have access to the service. Just like the NES collection, more games will be added at regular intervals. The Super NES titles will also support the newly released Rewind feature that was added just under 2 months ago. They also will receive the online multiplayer capabilities as well. Nintendo will also be offering custom Super NES controllers that have been specifically designed for the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch Online is available for as low as under $4 a month or $20 per year, with family packages going for under $35 yearly. Super NES-style controllers will cost under $30 each, and in order to access the games, you must download a brand new application that can be accessed from the Nintendo eShop. Last Tuesday, the previously released remastering of the Spyro the Dragon trilogy hit the Nintendo Switch and the PC gaming platforms. Last November, Activision Blizzard, alongside of Toys for Bob, released Spyro Reignited Trilogy. The collection includes the 3 games that made up the original Spyro the Dragon series from the original PlayStation 1 days and was made available for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on both digital and a somewhat controversial physical version. The Reignited Trilogy offers new assets and cinematical appeal, animation, and lighting scenarios, alongside of a remastered soundtrack. You also get reinstated deleted scenes, as well as an update to the classic save feature using modern save state methods as opposed to a password feature. When the collection was released for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One last year, physical media fans took to the internet to express their concerns when it was discovered that significantly sized downloads were required in order to get the full experience. The PlayStation 4 version required a 19GB download, while Xbox One gamers needed to download a 42GB update. The new Switch cartridge also requires a download, but one that is under 9GB in size. Alongside of the Nintendo Switch version, a Steam-based PC release also occurred this past Tuesday. PC gamers will need a 64-bit processor, Windows 7 or later, an Intel Core i3-2100 or AMD FX 6300, 4GB of RAM, 40GB of available hard drive space, and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 660 with at least 2GB of video RAM, alongside of DirectX version 9.0 or later. Regardless of your platform or media preference, Spyro Reignited Trilogy retails for just under $40. A new homebrew title for the NES called Rolly is making its way to physical cartridges soon, thanks to a very successful Kickstarter campaign, and there is plenty of time to secure your very own copy. Developed from the ground up by Chris Lincoln, the game is a side-scrolling platformer in which the player controls the lead character, an orange raccoon named Rolly. A second playable character, a purple raccoon named Lori, can also join in the fun. A unique tag team mechanic provides co-op multiplayer experiences, allowing 2 players to help each other out when it comes to completing the levels. Rolly and Lori are on a mission to save their forest, the Paradise Gorge. Their goal is to defeat the brats and bullies who have seized power in the midst of an unstable ecosystem that has been precipitated by an overpopulation of snakes. The game's power-ups and secrets are scattered throughout 16 levels and various checkpoints. The board being used for the physical product is a Membler Industries GT-ROM. Rolly was programmed into a 40KB cartridge, which was the same limitations that were used in some of the earliest NES classics. The most inexpensive way to secure a copy of the game is to snag a digital version of the title, which comes along with a PDF manual and sells for about $9. Those wanting a physical copy of the game can do so for as inexpensively as $39, which gets you the cartridge, sleeve, digital manual, as well as a ROM image copy. A $59 complete edition will also get you a physical manual and box. The Kickstarter for Rolly ends on September 30th of this year, and all versions of the game, in both digital and physical formats, are scheduled to ship out in February of 2020. And finally this week, in other homebrew news, a brand new original game called Adventure Park has recently been developed for the Commodore Plus 4 computer system. The rather uncommon platform was originally released back in 1984 and sold under 400,000 units before being discontinued the following year. In Adventure Park, you play the part of Noah, the hero that must fight his way through an adventure park and collect 99 diamonds that have been scattered over the course of 34 unique screens. He trades these diamonds for his girlfriend Emma, who was captured in a spider's web. However, the trip won't be easy, as a variety of traps and hordes of enemies will be awaiting for you at every turn. You control him via the joystick or via the keyboard's cursor keys, and you jump with either the shift key or by using the cursor up. The jump's heights are actually variable, with short taps resulting in a small jump and sustained presses causing a higher jump. Adventure Park was written entirely in machine language and is compatible with both NTSC and PAL video signals. It will run on any stock model Plus 4 that has 64K of RAM, which was the standard amount of memory for the system. The game has been made available as a freeware title at no cost via a downloadable PRG floppy disk image that can be used on emulation programs that support the format. You also have the ability to create actual floppy disks with the image on it by means of using appropriate software and hardware connections. There's currently no word on if the game would ever be sold in a physical package, and the game is currently available via the Plus 4 World website. That's it for this week's edition of the RGN Files. We would like to take a moment to let everyone out there know that the fall 2019 season premiere of our official radio show, BGM on FM, has been delayed by 1 week and will now return to the WRML airwaves on Monday, September 16th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. For complete details of any of this week's stories, visit RetroGameNetwork.com. And don't forget to check us out on our social media outlets on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Retro Game Network, and on Twitter and Twitch at RetroGameNet. For the RGN Files, I'm Christopher Chrisman. This week's news stories provided by the following: Activision, GameSpot, Indie Retro News, Limited Run Games, Nintendo of America, Nintendo Everything, Nintendo Joe, Nintendo Life, PlayStation Lifestyle, Plus4 World, Polygon, The Verge.